Welcome back, everybody, to the Profits for Sanity Podcast. I'm your host, Dominic, Caminata, CEO and founder of Grosso University. Today, I'm honored to be joined by someone who plays a real critical role in the industry, helping contractors grow and scale through smarter and better access to financing. Today, I'm sitting down with Metz Bissell, who is a senior manager of partnerships at GreenSky, where he leads strategic alliances with home improvement manufacturers, distributors, and franchise networks across the country. GreenSky is also a diamond sponsor of Grosso University, and I can say from personal experience, their financing has been foundational, not only in my personal career in home improvement selling, but also the success of many of the companies that we work with today. When used right, financing isn't just a tool, it's truly a growth engine. With over 9 years of experience in partnerships and business development, Metz has built a reputation for creating programs that truly benefit everyone involved, the contractor, the customer, the partners behind the scenes. He's truly passionate about helping contractors become more profitable while also making the purchasing experience seamless for homeowners and simple. In this episode, we're going to break down how financing impacts close rates, average ticket size, and overall business growth, and how contractors like you can leverage platforms like GreenSky to create more opportunities to win more deals and ultimately grow and scale a more successful company. So how was that for a little introduction?
I need you to follow me around all day. That was pretty incredible. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
I rehearsed it a few times.
Yeah,
it's good.
No, it's good.
So Metz, you've been in this business a long time. Obviously, I've known you for many, many years. And one thing that is really impressive is that you've been committed to GreenSky for going on 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
So what specifically drew you to GreenSky? Let's talk about your origin. Like, how did you get into the space, this world of financing? And what was it about GreenSky that it's like, this is my home, this is where I want to stay?
Well, I've always loved home improvement. In high school, my first job was demoing bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me a hammer, said, here's a bucket, go take the tile down to the car and drain dirt to the truck. And so that's how I got started in home improvement. And then out of college, I went down to a company in Florida, big company, 10,000 employees. Mm-hmm. Realized that wasn't for me. So I came back to Atlanta, found a small startup at the time in GreenSky. They said, hey, we're going to reinvent home improvement financing. And they have a great leadership team. And said, all right, cool. When you're offered a spot on a rocket ship, you don't ask which seat. You just take one and get on. Yeah. And I believed in the leadership team. And it's the same leadership team that's still intact.
Hold on, closers. Are you ready to stop losing deals to the same tired old objections? At Grosso University, we've created this free closers guide just for you, which is a proven step-by-step framework to overcome any objection in the home improvement industry. This is the exact system used by top producers in the game, closing at over 70% plus, including record-breaking selling streaks such as 40 sales in a row. Inside, you'll learn how to get to the true emotional root origin of every objection, crush resistance with confidence, and close like an absolute professional. The best part is, this framework will teach you how to become a tenacious one-call closer without building any pressure whatsoever. Don't leave money on the table. Download your free closer's guide now and start turning objections into opportunities. As always at Grosso University, yes, you are a closer, and back to the video.
Top to bottom is pretty much the same leaders and the same visionaries and Green. I don't know. I cannot say enough good things about GreenSky. That's why I've been there 9 years.
Well, I can attest to that because I've known Jesse Davis and a lot of the key leaders. Since I've been in the industry and they're still there.
Yeah,
so
Reed Benjamin, Jet Norris, Jesse Davis,
How long has Jared been there?
Jared's been in the industry a while. So Jared's been there about 5 or 6 years now. Mm-hmm. But Jared knows a lot of folks in the industry too. What's important there is everyone at GreenSky understands home improvement contractors because that's all we do. We don't play in cars or furniture or stuff like we only do home improvement. So anything that we do or any type of enhancement that we make is done with the home improvement contractor in mind.
Yeah. And that's unusual because I've worked with many other lenders, right? I'm not going to name any names, but they're all over the place. They started off, in the mortgage and finance and, maybe like water heaters and stuff like that. Not that that's bad, but you've always been like really clear on your purpose in this world, like what your niche is, which again, from my experience, and I was always blown away, even like going back many years ago, how quickly GreenSky provided a digital platform to make selling and processing financing as easy and simple as possible. And that alone can just be so empowering for a salesperson, right? Just making it simple, because financing can get really complicated, with the wrong process, with the wrong technologies, and it can take forever and a day. It's like, so you work for, 2.5, 3 hours to close a sale, and then you're spending another hour and a half trying to get the dang financing approved. It's like a nightmare. So this is why, like when I was at Mad City, by far, GreenSky was our go-to lender that we would lean on heavily, especially as a first look. We had second look and third look lenders, and I know you've created this amazing Waterfall system too, which is cool. But yeah, having GreenSky as a first look was priceless for us. And just kind of diving right in, I guess from your perspective, how important is financing in general in terms of enhancing the overall sales process and a sales rep's ability to close on that lead? There's
tiers to it. So if you're not offering financing, I don't know why you would choose to go to war without a gun.
Yeah.
It's
like a bazooka.
It's kind of the same thing. It's like, this financing is meeting your customers where they want to be met, making it easy for them to say yes. Your competitors have it as an option. Why wouldn't you? It's the same price point as many other purchases that are more flexible. Yeah. Make it easy to say yes. Make your company more customer centric. Hey, we know that this is a big investment for you. Yeah. And we've taken that into consideration. Look at these great options that we have. So if a contractor is not offering it, I don't want to say get with the times, but I don't know why you're tying your hands behind your back whenever you walk into this customer's home.
Well, you made a profound statement because, we're actually live at Closers Camp right now. It's actively running. And I just saw your presentation. You said that 98% of people that own Mercedes-Benz finance those cars, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And it's crazy because I'll see different dynamics, right? I'll see one contractor that said, our customers don't finance, they pay cash. Well, that's because that's all you're selling to. And that's you don't offer any other options. Right. So I don't even know. That's like a weird statement. But then also some other companies where it's like 80% or more of their business is financed, right? In the same territory sometimes. Financing is by far, what I've seen, especially when we expertly trained our team, you're going to increase your average sale tremendously because now we're no longer having to sell on price, we're selling on affordability. Yep. So you have a lot more leverage at the negotiating table. You're going to dramatically improve closing and conversion on leads because the more simple, painless, and easy you can make it for anyone to own your product, the more business you're going to sell. It's a simple equation. You're going to increase retention. Because obviously that sticker shock and that buyer's remorse, it hurts when I just drop $20,000 of my hard-earned money on a project and I have no idea what's going on versus $200 a month, right? So less sticker shock, less pain, higher retention, more profitability. And also what I love, let's talk about the customer. You're able to relax and design what they actually want. You're able to design what they actually dream that they would want. You're not beholden to what they can just pay cash and now they're just settling. Yeah. So I can actually give them what they deserve and lead with the best instead of just automatically gravitating to what's the cheapest or most economical.
Yeah. You shouldn't hide behind your price. You should be proud of the work that your company does. Yeah. It's a privilege to be able, you're going to deliver them fantastic results. So it's a privilege to work with your business, make it affordable for them. Yeah. Right. And that's what Payment Options does. It also helps the customer start to see that vision and that this is possible so you mentioned something, we are live at Closers Camp. Yeah. There's a big difference between having financing as an option and selling with financing and really using it to drive the sale. Yeah. And there's a huge difference between waiting till the end and say, oh, we got financing if you need it. It's like, well, all right, if you want to put it on layaway, you can. Like, I mean, it doesn't. Who's going to say, oh, great, yeah, actually, it's not an attractive way. And so. By being able to massage the sale, drop little tidbits, oh yeah, I like whenever it's first mentioned at the call center or like while they're scheduling the appointment.
And all your marketing,
on the market. Yeah. Start at the marketing, but as soon as you start engaging with the customer,
plant those seeds.
Hey, you called it a great time. We're going to have someone out at 10 o'clock, not 10 to 2, at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And we're running some great promos. You called it a great time. Our rep's going to be out there. Make sure to ask about them if they don't bring it up. The rep's definitely going to bring it up. But that starts now the customer's excited. Now they're going to go, I'm getting a deal tomorrow. Like, wonder what that promo is going to be. Rep shows up. Oh yeah, we did one just like this. And the customer actually, like, dream project, gorgeous windows, gorgeous backyard, gorgeous patio, whatever the project is. And they're going to use their tax return to pay for it. They don't even have to pay anything for 12 months.
Yeah.
Now that customer is thinking, okay, I don't know what the price they're going to tell me in, but now I'm more receptive. You're starting to break down that barrier of this all sounds great, but how much does it cost? Now they're starting to go, okay, I'm going to hear this guy out. Let's see, or gal, and see what we designed together.
Yeah. It never ceases to amaze me because we would often ask, what specific promotion, advertisement, because of course I would see that maybe the sauce on TV or the sauce at a home show, what stood out to you the most that really caught your eye? And they would say, oh, I saw, you got a labor promotion and the products and services are exactly what we've been looking for. And was there anything else about the promotion, some advertising that really sparked your interest? And a lot of people would then, after you layer that question, be like, well, I saw your offer no interest financing right out of the gate. So when you're advertising and you plant that seed early and often, and then you're reinforcing that throughout the sales process, I mean, it's just such a powerful weapon of influence. And I can't help myself. If I'm in a house and someone's talking about financing, I start drooling a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good one. Kind of fasten your seatbelt.
Because they're not going to beat you up as much about price either. They're not going to look at every single dollar because they know it's more flexible.
Yeah. And you brought up something really important. This is something we preach often is financing is not something that you just throw out there as a Hail Mary at the negotiating table after price is already delivered and hoping and praying like, please, hopefully they just bite on it. Financing something you're actively selling, and you've often described it as leaving a trail of breadcrumbs, right? Yep. You're selling on as part of your sales process, part of your step selling system. So by the time I even get to the negotiating table, they're already conditioned that this is the way everybody buys. Yep. And that's the way they should also buy because there's 1.5 million benefits for them personally as to why they should take out a monthly investment on this versus depleting all their savings and just throwing it at this project in one lump sum of money. Yep. And there's so many creative things that salespeople can do with financing and organizations. I've had salespeople where they're in a house selling bathrooms. Let's say you do the 1-day bath and they'll show, well, we can get the master bath done for, $200 a month. However, with this new promotion we got, if we were to do both bathrooms, it's only about, $320 a month. Another $120 more, we can knock them both out for you.
We're already here.
And then it's a no-brainer. And all you're doing is you're using the power of financing. You're stretching the term, you're playing with the numbers, but making it simple and painless and easy for them just to get it taken care of. And that's doing a service to them, in my opinion, right? You're doing a service to that homeowner. You're giving them the opportunity to improve their lives in new and exciting ways. And now allowing them to just settle for what's convenient or what's affordable right now on a cash investment. So I often share this story. I was doing a training out in Boston, and it was with one of our clients that they do roofing, siding, and windows, very common. But this sales rep came into their organization, and he used to be the finance manager at a car dealership. So if you go to any car dealership, the real closer is not the car salesman, it's the finance manager. Okay?
That's the final table.
And they know how to talk, act, and behave when discussing money. And they know how to sell on monthly investment and terms and payment and all that stuff. Okay. So this guy comes in, had never done anything in home improvements before, didn't even know how to use a tape measure really. And his first 4 months in the job, that's when I first met the gentleman, he sold $4.2 million in home improvements in just his first 4 months. Yeah. And the only reason he only sold $4.2 million is because he had a bad first month. He only sold $800,000 his first month. But his fourth month, he did $1.6 million in 1 month selling roofing, siding, and windows. And take a wild guess why he was so freaking powerful in the home and a tenacious closer. 95% of everything he did was finance. He's like, everybody finance. It's crazy. So to me, this is, like you said, this is not even a conversation anymore. It's not optional. It's mandatory. If you're not offering financing, get with GreenSky and make sure you know how to actually sell it. Again, it's not something I just throw out there. You need to build it in as part of your strategy, right? 100%. So absolutely impactful. So what do you see some of the top companies doing to maximize the power of financing to where, they're not leaving too much money on the table? So what are some creative ways you're seeing them kind of build financing into their business to where they're getting the maximum benefit or opportunity out of every precious lead? Because there's people that offer financing, but they're still leaving a lot of money on the table because maybe they're not using the tool correctly, or maybe they have the wrong partner. So maybe that can also tie into what are some things you do as a partner for these companies to make sure that they are maximizing this precious tool.
Yeah. Man, lot we could go down there.
Yeah.
I will say the number one thing that successful, fast growing companies do is build the cost into every single one of their jobs.
Yeah.
Make it easy. Don't make your salespeople be business owners.
Yeah.
Don't make them have to make that decision while at the table. There's too many things going on. It's happening pretty quick. They're getting hit with objections. Don't make them think about ways to pay, how all that different stuff. Keep them to their process. And the process is build it into every single job. Mr. Customer, it does not matter to me how you pay. I just want to work with you. If I could charge you less, I would. What I can guarantee you is you're going to get great quality work with us, and you're going to tell your friends about it. And it's going to be incredible. You're going to be proud of this, and we're going to do this together and be easy to work with. How you pay is up to you. The price is the price. It also kind of takes the customer that thinks, oh, I can kind of start trying to nickel and dime and ask for discounts here and there. When you start saying the price, if I could charge you less, trust me, I would. And it's $10,000 or it's $120 a month, or it's 12 months, no interest. Which of these three do you like? The 10,000 is going to stay the same no matter what.
Right.
So building it into every single job. And then if you take the cost of financing, which is basically the cost of a credit card almost now, and then stretch that across every single one of your jobs, it oftentimes comes out to like less than 1%.
Yeah.
So it's not even, it's so marginal for what you be, or it's so minuscule.
Yeah.
For what you're able to take to these customers. Quick in the home, decisions in seconds, high approval rate, unsecured loans. I mean, it's a really good product.
That's where sometimes I scratch my head because I have talked to contractors that said we don't offer financing because we don't want to pay for it. And I'm like, that is the weirdest thing ever, because I know just from my experience, just building a high powered sales team and training hundreds and hundreds of other companies, that they're actually significantly more profitable and making more money when they do offer financing. But like you said, you got to build it into your overall investment, right? You got to kind of account for that. So if I have to increase my overall investment by another 5% and then renegotiate from there, I mean, it's no different. The only person that cares is you, right? Yeah. The prospect doesn't care. Because again, as long as it's affordable, what's the difference between $200 a month or $210 a month? Really, you're splitting hairs at that point.
The customer's gonna have sticker shock anyways.
Yeah.
The cost of windows is not portrayed on a gas station, like every corner, like it is gas, right? So they're gonna have sticker shock regardless. Right. So present them with 3 options and do it early as often as you can. Do it early in the sale. It's going to lead to higher results.
So one thing we train on at Grosso University is when you first deliver the retail price, the total investment, and you get any objections at retail, because more often than not, the total investment is good for 30 days or a year, depending on which company is watching this. A lot of times you'll get price objections right then and there, right? I deliver my price. They're like, oh my God, that's way too much money, or that's too expensive. We can't afford it. What I realized is when I was empowered with financing, I never had to even entertain that objection, because that's completely irrelevant, because all they're looking at is the total, but they don't know how affordable it is yet. And I can't tell you how many times, Metz, I've been at the negotiating table. I get a price objection. And I say, I can completely appreciate that. And again, that investment's good for 30 days. I'm just curious, Metz, if and when you were to move forward with a project like this, how would you handle it? Is this something you take care of as a cash investment, using your own resources? Or like most of our customers, something you'd break up into a comfortable budget plan or a monthly investment program? Right. And they're like, oh, well, you'd have to finance it. Great. I'll tell you what, since I'm here anyway, let me just show you a few of our most popular options. Just let me know if any of them work for you. Fair enough. And then I'd go through the path of financing, show them a couple different options. And they're like, wait, we can get that down for $180 a month? And I'm like, yeah, I told you it was affordable. And they're like, was there just an application we have to fill? I'm like, yeah, here it is. And all of a sudden that price objection that initially came out when I first delivered it is gone. It disappeared. It vanished because they didn't realize, even though the total investment was more than they expected, it's so freaking affordable. And that's what surprises people. That's why I train people, like, don't give in to that price objection right away. Because a lot of the amateur salespeople, they'll get a price objection, immediately start apologizing for it, immediately start like discounting. It's like, no, slow down. Use financing to bridge the gap.
Yeah, and you don't know what that customer's reference point is. Yeah. Like, you have no idea. Maybe you have a good price. I mean, don't hide behind. Be proud of your prices. You know, price is the price. If I could charge you less, I would. This is the cost of business. If you want this is what it costs. We do a good job.
So of course, there's all kinds of different products and services out there. There's, low end ticket items. There's big ticket items. So one of the things I've always loved about GreenSky is you have a pretty high max approval in terms of the size of the loan. So you want to tell everybody like how much you approve for, like the total, and then what do you think is like, how does financing allow people to sell bigger jobs like that, to be able to upsell on those bigger ticket items?
Yeah. So we go all the way up to $100,000.
Yeah. Right then and there, signature loan within minutes, not even seconds.
Boom, right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
$100,000.
$100,000.
Right.
Yep.
And then one things that I experience, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times I would have a $20,000 sale and GreenSky would approve it for 30 or more sometimes. And then right there, I can upsell.
Perfect segue.
Yeah.
Oh, look how affordable this is actually. Like, you're actually approved for more. You could easily do these other things. The bank wouldn't tell you could if you couldn't.
Right.
So
yeah. There's this thing called buying frame. I think we've talked about this before, but when your prospect is in buying frame, meaning they've already committed to you, you have at least a 33% chance of upselling them right then and there on more products. And this is where a lot of salespeople miss the boat big time. Is after you close the sale, right? Yep. They've said yes. Like, their fear of making the decision is gone. That's behind us now. Now they got the excitement, the emotion, the enthusiasm of getting this done. Right then and there, having GreenSky give you that additional approval, additional amount, whatever it is. Right then and there, take that shot. And I can't tell you how many times I would upsell on entry doors or shower doors or anything that they maybe settled on. I'm like, you're already pre-approved for this, John. I mean, it's only going to add like another $50 a month to the total. Why don't we just get that taken care of? And it's literally like a $5,000 throw-in.
Yeah.
It's just like, you want fries with your
and even if it's not an upsell, change orders.
Yeah.
Change orders, anything goes wrong. The money's there. You don't have to go submit another loan. The money's already there. You can just ask for an increase.
Yep. So one of the things I heard you talking about is going from like a first look to a second look to a third look. You want to explain how GreenSky structures that? And, because I think that's really important, because it's really hard, like, when a salesperson is in the home and they have to fill out all these different applications and they have to get on calls with all these different lenders. It's nice if like that can just some automation to that. So explain that kind of like the waterfall system. Yeah.
So it's, we call it the universal credit application. Waterfalls are prevalent in the space. I mean, there's some companies that's all they do. They're not even a lender. They just shoot them out to lenders, right?
Exactly.
That's like, what's your, so they just built their own algorithm. So GreenSky, we have our own waterfall as well. So
nice.
It waterfalls to Foundation, Aqua, Mycroft. We have partnerships with them as well.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it expands from there.
So do you, obviously, things change and all this stuff, but do you have any data behind that, like with the waterfall, like what that can get them to buy down to? Obviously it can change, but as of today, like
so I'll just say GreenSky goes down to the low 600s.
Yeah.
I'll let the other lenders speak for themselves.
Yeah.
But GreenSky buys down to low 600s. Wow. Whenever you utilize GreenSky and you're offering it effectively, that's the thing about approval rates too. Everyone wants to talk about high approval rates, low approval. If you're using a primary lender and your approval rate's over 90%, you're not offering financing correctly.
Right.
That means you're not offering enough promotional loans. I would guarantee if somebody has a 90% approval rate, they are offering probably only no interest options. They're not offering enough monthly payment options. So I don't know. GreenSky, we see a healthy approval rate around the low to mid 80s, and then the universal credit app picks up a large portion of those that don't. So it's effective. It works. And, GreenSky, we were the first to make a credit app.
So after we would determine the initial deposit they're comfortable with and what monthly investment program, I'd be like, which one of these plans works best for you? And they pick, let's say it's a 120 month program, 799 APR, whatever it is. So just to confirm me correctly, the initial deposit of 10% and $179 a month is completely affordable for you. Well, congratulations, John and Mary. And I pushed the iPad in front of them. If you could just hit the apply now button, we'll get you started. And it was just such a smooth way to assume the order. And that was going back many years ago. So I can only imagine nowadays, and the fact that you're really defining GreenSky as a tech company, that's what I've always experienced. You've always had the most user-friendly, innovative technology to make processing financing simple and easy.
Yeah. Like I think we've said this a lot. It's why complicate it? No. You're already at the end. Mm-hmm. Just get it done. Super fast, easy to use. Yeah. Which is interesting. You said that's how you submitted applications because we have a lot of, like I said, we have our integration partners. Yeah. We have folks that use the GreenSky mobile app. Some use the payment estimator. Yeah. Some kind of have it in their head. They know, and they just go through to a hard application, which is just submit the application. It's quick and easy. Mm-hmm. We also have pre-qual. Yeah. So some contractors will build in pre-qual, which pre-qual is basically no harm, no foul. Yeah. Let's just see if you get approved. Yeah. Soft credit check. Mm-hmm. And then that can segue to an application as well. Right. What we do is we talk every single contractor that comes to GreenSky is going to have a dedicated account rep. And so what we'll do is we'll meet with sales managers, ownership, and say, hey, here's all the ways that we could submit that, like have that process. Yep. Let's get one together and let's get buy-in on that. Mm-hmm. And then let's go train your team. Because if you're not getting, if you have like, all right, great. We know we should offer financing. Great. That box checked. Mm-hmm. Which one do we use and how do we pick a lender is off of a couple things. You have to have training. If you don't know your sales rep and if your team doesn't have your sales rep's contact number, you're missing a huge piece. I mean, that's a team member. That's an extension of your team that just gets paid by GreenSky. Right. So if you have not had either webinar training or on-site training, we do a lot of on-site training. Yeah. Make sure that you're either getting that from your current lender or hop on over to GreenSky because we'll do it.
Yeah, the training is absolutely paramount because, again, salespeople need to know, obviously, how to navigate the technology and dance with it, but how to talk, act, and behave when discussing money. As we were discussing, it's an art form. It's a skill. And I always just kind of described it when you're at the negotiating table going over financial terms. Picture you're like putting your finance advisor hat on. So I'm not a salesperson anymore. I'm a finance advisor. And because it's a very intimate conversation you're having with this homeowner, right? It's personal. And I need to have a relaxed, assertive confidence about my tonality and, this trusted advisor type of demeanor, kind of guiding them in the right direction. Kind of like I'm just on their side, helping them go through the options to see how affordable can we truly make this for you. So you can get the bathroom, kitchen, shower, roofing system of your dreams and make this as painless as possible. I'm on your side,
It's amazing how comfortable and intimate a conversation like that can get. I mean, they're making a huge purchase on their home. They're allowing you to take a hammer to it. Yeah. So they have to have some trust in you. And so I mean, I see all the time that there's contractors and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to go hang out with our clients because they had a good experience working together. So
yeah, no, it's awesome. I actually didn't know that you had the background in demolishing baths. So you know my background before I got into the business, right? So I think you may have heard it, but my father owned a demolition company called RJ's Westside Demolition. So literally since I could walk, I grew up in the demolition business. So tearing down buildings, demolishing houses.
It looks like it.
Swinging sledgehammers.
Since he was born.
Yeah, literally. No, I'm not even kidding. Doing physical labor. That's what I was born to do. And that's what I was destined to do. I never in a million years thought I'd be where I'm at today. Obviously, fate has a way of steering you in different directions. But having that background in the trades, I always knew somehow I was going to do something in the home improvement space or the trades, I'm really excited to be on this side of it.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but so that was my high school job. Mm-hmm. My college job, I did door-to-door sales, straight commission for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I sold the newspaper in the day of the internet, door to door, knocking on people's houses. I quickly learned that if they signed up, they got a coupon book. So I wasn't really selling the paper. I was kind of selling coupon books. But so I've been canvassing. I've done the demo.
That's awesome.
I love the home improvement
It's good to have
business.
that background. It allows you to really relate what everyone's truly going through on the day to day.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I've seen with the whole GreenSky team is just your understanding as to like what actually it looks like at the negotiating table, having this discussion and being able to relate to these teams and empower them with the right training. So
if you can put yourself in the feet of your customer, just like the rep can do so for the homeowner, you're going to understand it more. You're going to get a more customized product for them. Yeah. You're going to get something that's more tailored to them, which could be a financing offer or financing, kind of the F word we don't say. It's more payment options. Yeah. Financing has a negative connotation. You think
so. We say monthly investment programs.
Boom. I like that one too.
Nobody likes payments. They like investments though. They give them a return.
Yeah, there you go.
So do you want to have a payment or do you want to put a deposit down on an investment? It's going to pay for itself.
That's right.
Right.
The value of the home, all that sort of thing. Enjoyment factor as well.
Yeah. Enjoyment, equity, all that stuff. So GreenSky also offers a lot of different things to support contractors, especially to be cash flow friendly, right? So again, we're talking about profits for sanity. How do you offer financing, but keep it cash flow friendly? So you offer different stage funding options for that. You want to kind of explain the different stage funding solutions?
I'm super jazzed up about our stage funding because we have gotten very flexible with it, or at least the ability to be flexible with it. So however they get paid cash, that's how we want to do so. Yeah. Now we do have to check to make sure that GreenSky is not floating their business, and we do request P&L documents and balance sheets just to make sure, hey, we're not keeping your business, like you're not totally relying on us, right? Yeah. But then we'll move those. So we set starting blocks depending on time in business. We'll set those starting blocks somewhere, but 20% upfront, 80% at completion is pretty normal. And then we can easily move those blocks. And we can customize them into different stages as well. You want 30, 30, 30, 10. You want 50, 50. You want 20, 20, 20. I mean, we can do whatever you get paid cash. The staged funding should not be a reason not to offer financing.
Right. Yeah, obviously, we've already talked about a lot of things that set GreenSky apart. The stage funding is certainly super impactful. Obviously, your support team, your training. What are some other things about GreenSky that you feel really sets you apart from other lenders? You got the niche in home improvement. You got the best support team. You're the biggest. Obviously, been around forever. You got all the integrations. Maybe we talk about that too. But what are some other things that you really feel set you apart from your typical lender?
Yeah. You mentioned biggest, and I feel like that gets thrown around. It's like, oh, great, you're the biggest. But like what that really means is the ability to support scale, and proof of concept. I mean, extreme proof of concept. And so we have reps all over the country. Some of that was by design. Some of that was by COVID. When COVID happened, our team went throughout the country. And then it was nearly impossible to get everyone back. And we were like, well, this is actually awesome. Because now we have boots on the ground everywhere. So we try to do a lot of in-person trainings. Our team is primarily focused on training. I could have the best technology in the world. I could have the best process in the world. I have the best price in the world. But if your team's not comfortable bringing it up, it's never going to make it to the homeowner's ears. And so we spend a ton of time training. So I would say if there's one thing that I want to hang my hat on, our integrations are superior. They're great. But mainly our training. Our team is really good.
So let's dig into that a little bit. So what are some of the big integrations? Because I'm assuming some of the people watching this may be working with some of these partners and providers, whether it be like Engage or something like that, or some of these AI companies. But what are some of the big integrations that you feel would be really impactful for people, like with GreenSky and these other companies?
Well, we're in basically all the waterfalls. So if you're going to use one of the waterfalls, we're basically in those as well. But I mean, the gorilla in the room is Service Titan, right? So Service Titan has a fantastic integration. It's a great company. We've both kind of grew alongside each other, and it's been fantastic. But we work with a lot of others. We work with AccuLinks. We work with Field Edge. There's tons.
That's cool.
So depending on what they're, and then also and then I'll tell this, and this is asking for help, for anyone that is watching this, that we are not integrated with them. Most of those referrals actually come from contractors saying, hey, I love GreenSky. I want this to integrate into my CRM.
Makes sense.
And then they ask their CRM.
Yeah,
so that's kind of how it works. And so if you love GreenSky and you want, if you love GreenSky and you want it to integrate with your CRM, then we can make that happen. We just got to talk to your CRM.
Yeah. So obviously the podcast here is called Profits for Sanity. And I think we've already kind of discussed, but how can contractors just stop thinking about this as financing and really just as a long-term profitability strategy for their business, right? So, and why do you think that matters so much? Because that's the way I look at this. I mean, this is not just a financing tool, but a long-term profitability strategy for your business that, again, I think is mandatory more than ever before, because look at what's going on in the world. People have a much harder time with like their own personal economy, their cash flow, living paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet, people working all these jobs, but their house is sick and you need to prescribe a solution to make it healthy again, right? So sometimes that's the only option, but you still need to know how to have this conversation, right? So why do you feel like, especially with everything going on in the world, a lot of volatility, that having the right finance partner could be one of the foundational pillars to really keep them afloat and profitable for the foreseeable future? Yeah,
well, financing is just a tiny piece of this equation. Yeah. Like, we're here for 3 days live at Closers Camp, going over every single thing from the moment you get a meeting pop up on your schedule to the moment you're leaving and doing follow. I mean, we're covering everything. Yeah. Financing is just a tiny, tiny piece of that. But we want to do it really well. It's an important one. Yeah. And so the only way to scale long-term profitable growth is you need to have something that's scalable, and it's going to be a process. Right. So GreenSky financing, that's just one tiny piece of your process that you can replicate. And say, whenever we hire a new rep, because you're going to hire new reps, you're going to lose reps, you're going to get reps, you're going to open in new markets. You need to have, this is the playbook, this is how we scale, this is what we do, this is our process, and something that's repeatable. It's successful, it's repeatable, it's scalable. If you want something long-term and how that fits into profits, you have to have a process.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And this is why, our partnership is so powerful, right? Because the right sales process, the right financing process, you merge those two together, it's a formula for success. And when you're doing your trainings with clients, you said you do them virtually and also in person. What does that typically look like? How long of a training is that? Are they mostly virtually nowadays versus in person? So if someone is a new merchant of GreenSky, they sign up with you, they're going to get connected with their local rep. And then what does that training look like?
Yeah. So we have reps. They're all over the country. We try to do as many in person as we can. You captivate a room a lot better whenever you're in person, right? Some of it is spent on, hey, let's get you logged in. Here's where you click. Very little time is spent on that though. Yeah. Beforehand, we've already met with the sales managers, ownership, whoever has a say in which plans we're going to select. We have over 100 different plans you could offer your customers. If you go into the home with 100 plans, I can guarantee you are not closing a sale. Offer them 100 plans, and that's the fastest way to lose a sale.
Simplify the menu.
Yeah. So simplify it down. I think if you're beginning, you start with 2 plans. Once you get a no interest plan, maybe a 6 or 12 month no interest, and then a low monthly payment plan, single digit. Yeah. And then add another, stretch the term out. So do 8 years, single digit, like 999, do a 6 month and a 12 month. And then whenever you become like assassin level, do 6 plans, 3 on each side, right? For each type of buyer. One that wants to pay it off quickly, one that wants a monthly investment. So start there. We'll pull those up. We'll show, hey, here's how you can present these. Here are some things that you might hear in the home about objections from homeowners or questions that they may have. Like, you're probably going to get asked this. Here's the information you need. But we also talk about like with the sales manager, what do you want us to focus on here? Like, tell me about your team. Everyone's team is different. Yeah. Are they young whippersnappers that are fresh out of college and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed and, ready to take on the world and they're open for any sort of suggestion? Or are they kind of set in their ways and we need to, kind of talk to them like, hey, this actually it's more of a mindset training at that point. Because you mentioned earlier, you can't teach an old dog new tricks is not true.
You're right. Exactly.
Super not true.
That's right.
It's, you can. And
we make an entire career and living doing that very thing. That's all we do.
That's right. That's right. So you definitely can. So, but we teach them, we show them the way. There's a lot of folks that grew up, Dave Ramsey worshiper. If I never financed a single thing, which there's value in that. And there's value in there's a healthy middle ground. Right. So, and what's important is you don't decide that for your customer. Let them pick on that, let them decide. And your main focus being you're there for a great quality product or install. And, it's just for them to pick how they want to pay for it.
Yeah, I always had a lot of success just talking with the homeowners, right? And I would tell them that, John and Mary, there's a lot of contractors out there, con being the headline word, but a lot of them are cash and carry. And what I mean by that is the only way they can work with you is either if you put half down, sometimes if you pay in full. And I've ran into contractors like, John and Mary, you need to pay in full so I can go buy the tools to do the work, right? A lot of red flags, but what I've seen in the industry, because as we discussed earlier, the industry doesn't have the most stellar track record and reputation, is these companies want half the money for the entire project before they've done anything. And the homeowner, in my opinion, in that case, is taking a massive risk. Because here's some stranger you barely know that's asking for half of the entire project before they've proven that they'll deliver on any of their promises. How do you know if they're not just going to take your money and bail? Yeah. So most of the customers I talk to, they want that extra insurance policy that, yes, they're making the right promises, they're saying all the things, but I need to ensure they're going to deliver on those promises. Yeah. This is why most of our customers, even our cash buyers, take advantage of our monthly investment programs, because instead of you having to shell out over half the amount up front just to get this project going, you can put as little as 10, 20% down. We can order the materials. We'll exceed your expectations in every form of the fashion. The only way we make money is when we funded the job and you signed a completion form that you're thrilled. Only then can we process the remaining. And at that point, you can choose to pay it all off in one lump sum if you want, or you can break it up into nice, comfortable monthly investments after that. This is why almost everyone we meet with takes advantage of this program, because it gives you all the empowerment and the insurance policy that whether it's us or any of our competition, that they're going to deliver on their promises, right? We want the contractor to have control of the sale throughout the entirety of it. Yeah. And for a contractor, I don't want, sometimes, contractors hear horror stories and they take offense as if they've done something, which isn't necessarily true, but you have to at least acknowledge that customers and consumers have that in their head, right? It's not, you're not at fault. You've done nothing wrong. Don't take any offense to it. But some customers are skeptical of like, should I give you 50% of my money? Then where are you going? Like, how do I know you're ordering this material? So like having the payment options is reassuring for customers. It at least tells the customer, hey, this bank wants to work with me. I do such good work that a bank is going to work with me. So it's almost a stamp of approval. Yeah. And it's that type of word tracks and language where you're going to be able to get a lot of the people that initially thought they're going to pay cash to actually take advantage of the financing. Because anytime I'm trying to get the homeowners to do anything, I always got to think about, what's in it for me? WIFM. They're always asking, what's in it for me? So if I can explain that when I'm selling financing, what's in it for them, and the fact that they'd be taking a much bigger risk by not financing it, then it makes it really easy for them. Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. And then you're telling me I can just pay it off when the job's done anyway? Why not do that? It's like, it really makes it simple and painless, and your closing rate is going to soar as a result. Talk about building trust. Yeah. Hey, don't even give me the money yet. You're good. Really powerful. And you have a bank backing you, so. Yeah, bank backing. So obviously GreenSky has been in business a long term. You've been there for 10 years. What does the future outlook look like for GreenSky? Just give people peace of mind, because obviously people do have, fear of the world like that we live in, right? There's like fear of war, fear of this, fear of that. So what can you say to give people peace of mind that, when you have GreenSky in your corner as a partner, like we're in it for the long haul. We're not going anywhere. Obviously, no one can predict the future, but give them that reassurance that this is what I love about you guys, right? Because you are obviously big, you're stable, you're a strong foundational pillar in the business, right? Mm-hmm. If they do have you as a partner, because losing financing can be suicide for a company, right? If they partner up with a lender and they go out, that can be suicide for a business. So what reassurance can you give companies? Like, what's your long-term vision for GreenSky, and what's the kind of the future outlook look like for the stability and ideally growth?
Future of GreenSky looks promising, incredible. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. Mm-hmm. I haven't left. I'm bought in. Yeah. You're going to see more integrations from us. Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to try to integrate with more folks. Right. We want to be the one-stop shop. Mm-hmm. We mentioned the universal credit app. We could see that evolve. Mm-hmm. We could see different type of loan offerings. We could see all sorts of different enhancements. Mm-hmm. We have a partner. We have a merchant portal, which is basically self-service because it's so easy to use. Our goal is for you to not have to call us. Mm-hmm. It means we're doing good. Yeah. But you're going to see a lot more of the same. I mean, it's at its core, like I said, the same folks are in place. Mm-hmm. And you're going to see a lot of the same, just more. Mm-hmm. More bodies over at GreenSky, hiring more folks, good talent. We're not going anywhere. Future's incredible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
that's really, really important. And you just kind of planted the seed with some things that this has been my experience watching your journey and GreenSky's journey is you're always trying to make it easier on everyone, right? So what can we do to make it easier for the homeowner, make it easier for the contractor, for the salesperson to essentially thrive at whatever it is they do, right? Whether it be maybe we offer some different plans or some enhancements to our technology and our tech stack or our integrations, just try to figure out ways we can simplify this, make it easier for people to be able to grow and thrive in their business and for homeowners to get the work done that they need. So it's truly a win-win dynamic. So I really appreciate everything. Obviously, we appreciate having you as a diamond sponsor of Grosso University. GreenSky has been a loyal supporter of Grosso University from day one. And it truly is a match made in heaven when you got the best financing partner and the best sales process in order how to maximize this amazing tool. This can obviously help you achieve profitability levels you can't even imagine. So if people want to get more information on GreenSky, what's the best way to reach out to apply to be a new merchant?
Yeah. So www.greensky.com/sponsor/Grosso University.
Awesome. We'll put that at the bottom of the screen there for everybody.
Yep. Go there. It'll have some frequently asked questions. Just type in, it's going to say, do you want to apply? But that's basically just give me some more information and then someone will reach out to you. Typically it's same day.
Okay. And then once they apply to be a new merchant, how long does it typically take to spool up and start selling financing in the home?
Yeah. So underwriting takes about 3 to 5 business days. If we can find all the documents we need to find online, give it a couple days more if we have to ask for something, but typically 3 to 5 business days.
Yeah. And then you'll onboard and you'll get your world-class training, and then your sales reps will be empowered to start generating more revenue, more profitability, closing more deals, and serving more customers. Right? That's right. At the end of the day.
It's funny. Our slogan is grow your business and delight your customers.
Yeah,
that's our number one thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's what it's all about. Like I said earlier in this conversation, you're able to finally sell what they actually want, need, and desire instead of just being limited to what's cheap and economical, right? So you're going to have a lot happier customers. You're going to change lives for the better, all because you have this amazing gift now with financing. So thank you so much. And obviously the Profits for Sanity podcast and Profits for Sanity tradition, we got the money gun here. So Metz is going to help me finish this statement here. In the world of business, volume is for vanity and profit is for
sanity.
There it is. So I appreciate it. And that's why
I got a jam.
Oh, jam. That's sorry. The thing's got a lot of mileage on it. I've had a lot of people shoot money out of it.
There's been a lot of money through it.
Yeah. I just want to say thanks to the audience here for tuning into this podcast. Hopefully you took away a lot of insight. Make sure you get in touch with GreenSky as soon as possible. You will not regret it. It's going to absolutely transform your business in ways you can't even imagine. And again, in the world of business, obviously, we said volumes for vanity, profits for sanity. And as always at Grosso University, yes, you are a closer. And we'll see you on the next one.